All I'll be doing in this video for today is just to solve some examples in logarithm, as I gave us earlier the laws of logarithm. Now this is an example. Simplify log 27 base 3 plus 2 log 9 base 3 minus log 54 base 3. Solution. Now if you remember from the laws that I gave to you, I said log p base b plus log q base b will give us what? Will give us log pq base b. Now you will see that that's for addition. For subtraction, say log p base b minus log pq base b will give us log p divided by q base b. And there was a time I gave you something like this: b log p base b. Let me turn this one to a. Something like this will give us log p raised by a base b. These are what we are going to be using to solve this. Now from the question, we have log 27 base 3 plus 2 log 9 base 3 minus log 54 base 3. Then you follow the pattern of the laws. Now from this, now we'll have log 27 base 3 plus log these two will become the square, base 3 minus log 54 base 3. Now follow the pattern of the law. You have this will become multiplication, this will become division. Definitely, since we have they are common base, this can only be achieved if they have common base, and they have common base of 3. Now we have log 27 times 9 raised to power 2 over 54 base 3. Now how do we go about it? 27 here 1, 27 in 54 2, and that will equally give us log 81 over 2 base 3. Now you can convert this back. You can convert this back to the normal log p base b minus log q base b. Turn it back to it. Now you have what will you have? You have log 81 base 3. Don't forget that there's a base 3 here. Base 3 here. Yeah. Now you have minus, that will be log 2 base 3. Then what will be the answer for this? Now you continue. You have log 81. Turn 81 to indices. You have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 base 3 minus log 2 base 3. Then definitely you have log 3 raised to power 4 base 3 minus log 2 base 3. Now this comes to the back, becomes 4 log 3 base 3 minus log uh, log 2 base 3. Log 3 base 3 will cancel out. Remember I told you log a base a is equal to 1. Definitely log 3 base 3 is equal to 1. Then you have 4 times this will cancel this, or 1 minus log 2 base 3. Then our final answer will be 4 minus log 2 base 3. That's on that question. Now if you follow the pattern from what I gave to you earlier, this will be the final answer you are going to get. Let me solve another example. This is another example. Simplify log 12.5 base 5 plus log 2 base 5. Now solution to this: from logarithm laws of logarithm, I already told you log p base b plus log q base b will give us what? Log pq base b. Now from that you can easily just solve this straight away. Then you can have log 12.5 base 5 plus log 2 base 5 what would that give us? That will give us what? Log 12.5 times 2 base 5. Now, what will be our next answer then? Log 12.5 times 2 will give us what? 25 base 5. Now, this is just straightforward. What will you have next? You have log, convert this, find the factors of 25, 5 times 5 base 5. Now, you have what? Log 5 square base 5. Now, when you take a shift back, it will be equal to what? 2. This will be called, this 2 will come to the back, then it becomes 2 log 5 base 5. Now, what is log 5 base 5? Log 5 base 5 is 1. 2 times 1, the answer is equal to 2. That's on that. Then that the question, simplification of log 12.5 base 5 plus log 2 base 5 is equal to 2. Let me solve an. This is another example, and I want you to be more attentive to how I'm going to solve this. What will be the solution for this? Now, this will be log root 8 base 2 plus log root 3 base 3. Considering this, look at these two logs. They have different bases. Now, it will not be easy for us to use that rule, multiplying them together, because these bases are what? They are different. Now, we continue by saying something. This will be log. This can also be written like this: 8 raised to power 2. Law of indices. Check my video on indices. Now you have, this will also be 3 raised to power minus 1 over 2 base 3. Now, what are you going to do now? You have log. Find the factors of 8. Factors of 8 will be what? 2 times 2 times 2. Close bracket, raised to power 1 over 2 base 2 plus log 3 1 over 2 base 3. Now, we continue by saying log 2 raised to power 3, law of indices, 1 over 2 base 2 plus log 3 raised to power 1 over 2 base 3. Now, you have log, multiply the what? The two indices. This, multiply it together, you have 2 3 times 1 over 2 base 2 plus log 3 raised to power 1 over 2 base 3. Now, what will you have left? Let me change the color so that we'll keep going. Log 2 raised to power, this will be 3 over 2 base 2 plus log 3 raised to power half base 3. Now, something will happen here. What will happen here? Let this one comes to the back, and the index will come to the back. Now, what will you have? Let's go. Let me use it. You have 3 over 2 log 2 base 2 plus 1 over 2 log 3 base 3. Now, from our calculation so far, this will be 3 over 2. Log 2 base 2 is what? Is what? 1. You should be able to know that. Now, 1 over 2. Log 3 base 3 is what? Is 1 times 1. Then this will become what? This will become 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2. Now, find the LCM. 2, 2. They have common denominator. 2 in 2. That's 1. 1 times 3 plus 2 into, that's 1 times 1. Then you have what? 3 plus 1 over 2. That will give us 4 over 2. 2 cancel here, 2 here, 2. Then you have your answer to be 2. Now, finally, log 2, log root 8 base 2 plus log root 3 base 3 will definitely give us this 2. Follow the pattern, you understand the way I solve it. Let me solve the last example on logarithm equation so that you understand. This is another example on logarithm, and this is basically on logarithm equation. Looking at the question, we are told to solve the logarithm equation given here. Now, solution. Let's see how it goes. You will see that this particular question is quite different from what we have been solving initially. Now, how do we go about it? Let me write out the question. We have log base 2 x raised to power 2 minus 2x plus 5 is equal to 2. The first thing you should do here is just 1. change to an index form. When you convert that to an index form, you have what? This your particular 2, what will become base here will be raised to power of this 2. Now you will have x raised to power 2 minus 2x plus 5 is equal to 2 raised to power 2. Now you have x squared minus 2x plus 5 is equal to what? 2 times 2. Then you have x raised to power 2, x raised to power 2 minus 2x plus 5 is equal to 2 times 2 is what? 4. Now you have x raised to power 2 minus 2x plus 5. Now this you bring it over to the other side. Now it will become what? Minus 4 is equal to what? Is equal to, then you have your what? This will be what? 0. Now how do you now go? You have x squared minus 2x plus 5 minus 4 is what? Is 1 is equal to 0. Now you see that this expression have changed to what? Quadratic expression. Now since we are asked to solve, it means that we are getting a value for x. Now how do we go about it? This is a quadratic expression. You check my video on quadratic expression, quadratic equations, how you can go about solving questions on them. But for now, I'll just give you ways you can solve this. Now there's something you are going to do to solve this. You find two factors that when you sum up those two factors, you have minus 2 x, the coefficient of x. Now when you multiply the two factors, you will have plus 1. Now let me put it like this: you have product. Now which factors can we have? That is, when you have minus 1, what will minus 1 give us? Minus 2. Now when you multiply minus 1 times minus 1, what will you have? Minus times minus is plus. 1 times 1 is 1, that is plus 1, which means we can use this factor minus these factors minus 1 and minus 1. Now how do we implement it into what we are doing? Then you have x squared minus 1x first factor minus 1x second factor plus, you still repeat this 1 is equal to 0. Now this way you are trying to get a value for x. Now using these two sides, what is common into this side? X is common, which means x minus 1. Then what is common in this side? Minus 1 is common, it remains what? It remains x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now you bring this side, you bring these two together, you have x minus 1. Then you pick one of this factor, that is x minus 1 is equal to 0. Then we can now say x minus 1 is equal to 0. That is x is equal to 0 plus 1. This minus 1 will change to the other side and it will become plus 1, and x will be equal to 1. Since we have x minus 1 here, x minus 1 here, I only solve for 1, which means the value of x will be 1 twice. We have 2 1. Sometimes if the value is maybe another value, maybe 2, you can say x is equal to 1 or 2. But now here it is 1, since we have the same common factors here, and x is equal to 1, that is twice. That is our final answer to solving this. Now our x here, if you substitute 1 here, you still get your log this to be 2. Let's substitute it. For example, if you have 1 square, this will be 2 times 1 minus 2. Then 1 minus 2, that is minus 1. Minus 1 plus 5, that is 4. Then you have log 4 base 2. Now what will be log 4 base 2? 2 log 2 base 2. Then cancel. The answer is still equal to 2, which means we are correct here, x being equal to 1. Thank you. Now you can check my miscellaneous questions. At that point, I'll be solving even wax questions just to build our mind when it comes to logarithm. Thank you.